Walk into any pet store and buy yourself a starter aquarium kit. The box will come with a tank, a light, and a filter. That filter will be a hang-on back unit with a plastic cartridge inside it. On the box or on the filter instructions tucked inside, it will tell you to replace that cartridge every 2 to 4 weeks. The replacement cartridges will be sold right there on the shelf next to the filter. A 3-pack runs between $7 and $14 depending on the brand. If you follow those instructions for a single tank across a full year, you will spend somewhere between $80 and $150 on filter cartridges alone. If you run 2 or 3 tanks, which most hobbyists eventually do, that number becomes $200 to $400 a year, every year, on a product that the manufacturer knows you do not need to replace anywhere near that often. And that is before you understand what replacing that cartridge is actually doing to your tank every single time you follow those instructions. The aquarium filter industry is built on one of the most profitable repeat purchase cycles in the entire pet trade. According to industry market data, consumable filter cartridges and media packs generate an estimated 50 to 60% of all aftermarket revenue in the freshwater aquarium filter market, with replacement cycles of 4 to 6 weeks, driving predictable repeat purchases across all buyer segments. Proprietary cartridge designs are specifically engineered to lock hobbyists into a single manufacturer's replacement system. That is not an accident. That is the business model. And the instructions telling you to replace the cartridge monthly are not fish keeping advice. They are a subscription fee with a plastic wrapper around it. Here is what is actually happening inside your filter that the box instructions never explain. Your filter has one job that matters above everything else, and that job is not mechanical filtration, meaning trapping debris. Mechanical filtration is the least important function a filter performs. The job that keeps your fish alive is biological filtration, which is the process by which colonies of beneficial bacteria, primarily Nitrosomonas and Nitrospira species, convert the toxic ammonia produced by your fish's waste into nitrite and then into the far less toxic nitrate. These bacterial colonies live not in the water column, but on surfaces, specifically on every piece of porous material inside your filter. The sponge, the ceramic rings, the bioballs, and yes, the cartridge itself are all colonized by these bacteria. They are the living biological engine of your entire tank. Without them, your water is toxic. Without them, your fish suffocate slowly in their own waste products while the water looks perfectly clear. Now, here's what happens when you replace your filter cartridge every month following the manufacturer's instructions. You throw away your entire bacterial colony, you pull out the old cartridge, which is brown and gunky and full of the exact bacteria keeping your fish alive, and you drop in a brand new sterile white cartridge that has 0 biological activity. Your tank then goes through what is essentially a partial cycling event. Ammonia begins to rise. If you are testing your water, you will catch it. If you are not, and most beginners are not, your fish will begin experiencing chronic low-level ammonia exposure that suppresses their immune system, damages their gills over time, and makes them susceptible to every disease organism in the water. The hobbyist replaces their fish every few months, assumes it is bad luck or that the species is sensitive, goes back to the pet store, buys more fish and more cartridges, and the cycle continues indefinitely. The pet store profits from both ends. The solution that experienced hobbyists have been quietly using for decades costs between $5 and $15 total and never needs replacing. It is a sponge filter, and it is the piece of equipment that the aquarium retail industry has the strongest financial incentive to keep out of every beginner's hands. A sponge filter is exactly what it sounds like: a block of porous foam attached to a plastic uplift tube powered by a small air pump. Water is drawn through the foam by the air-driven current, trapping debris mechanically while simultaneously providing an enormous surface area for beneficial bacterial colonization. The sponge never gets replaced. It gets rinsed gently in a bucket of old tank water during water changes, squeezed twice to restore flow, and placed back in the tank. The bacterial colony lives on permanently. There is no cartridge, there is no subscription, there is no planned obsolescence engineered into the product. One sponge filter and one small air pump, total cost between $8 and $20, does the single most important job in your aquarium indefinitely with zero ongoing cost. The biological performance of a properly established sponge filter is not inferior to a hang-on back filter with a fresh cartridge. It is superior. Here is why. A hang-on back filter with a fresh cartridge has essentially zero biological filtration capacity because the cartridge is sterile. It takes 4 to 6 weeks for a meaningful bacterial colony to establish on new media. If you are replacing the cartridge every 4 weeks as instructed, your filter never reaches full biological capacity. You are running a filter that is perpetually cycling and never completing that cycle. A sponge filter that has been running in a tank for 3 months is hosting a mature, stable, fully established bacterial population across its entire surface area. Every liter of water passing through it is being processed by billions of bacteria doing their job at maximum efficiency. That is not a theory. That is basic aquarium biology that every experienced hobbyist understands, and every beginner deserves to know before they spend their first dollar on equipment. The sponge filter has additional advantages beyond the biological argument. During a power outage, a hang-on back filter stops moving water. The bacteria inside it that require oxygenated water flow to survive, begin dying within hours. A sponge filter sits submerged in the tank. The bacteria on it remain in contact with oxygenated tank water throughout the outage and survive far longer without flow. If you have ever returned home after a power cut to find your fish in distress and your filter struggling to reestablish, the biology of your filter media dying during the outage is a significant contributing factor. A sponge filter eliminates that vulnerability entirely. Sponge filters are also the only safe filtration option for certain types of fish and invertebrates. Hang-on back and canister filters generate a suction at the intake that is strong enough to pull shrimp, fish fry, and small nano species directly into the impeller. A sponge filter has no hard intake. The surface of the foam is the intake, and the pore size is small enough that nothing larger than microscopic particles passes through. Every shrimp keeper who has ever found a dead or injured shrimp jammed against a filter intake learned this lesson the hard way. A sponge filter eliminates the problem entirely. Every breeder who runs grow-out tanks for fry uses sponge filters for the same reason. The fish that require the most protection from your filtration system are also the fish that a sponge filter protects most effectively. Now let me tell you exactly how to set one up because the process is simple and the details matter. You need three things: a sponge filter appropriately sized for your tank, a small air pump, and a length of airline tubing to connect them. Size the sponge filter for twice your actual tank volume as a general rule. A 10-gallon tank should run a sponge filter rated for 20 gallons. More biological surface area is always an advantage, and there is no such thing as over-filtering a tank biologically. Connect the airline tubing from the air pump outlet to the uplift tube at the top of the sponge filter. Place the sponge filter in the tank with the suction cup provided. Turn on the air pump. Bubbles rise through the uplift tube, creating a gentle current that draws water through the sponge continuously. That is the entire setup. The only maintenance the sponge filter ever requires is a gentle rinse in old tank water during your regular water changes, roughly every 2 to 4 weeks. Remove the sponge from the filter body, squeeze it 2 to 3 times in the bucket of tank water you have already removed during the water change, and reinstall it. Never rinse it under tap water. Tap water contains chlorine or chloramine, both of which are toxic to the bacterial colony you have spent weeks or months building. The brown color that develops on the sponge over time is not dirt that needs to be removed. It is a biofilm of beneficial bacteria doing their job. A clean-looking white sponge is a sponge with a compromised bacterial population. The gunk is the point. If you already own a hang-on back filter and do not want to replace it entirely, there is a modification that experienced hobbyists use to convert it from a cartridge-dependent system into a permanent one. Remove the proprietary cartridge from the filter body. Replace it with a cut-to-fit block of aquarium foam or a bag of ceramic bio rings, both of which cost a few dollars and last indefinitely. The filter body, the pump, and the flow rate remain exactly the same. The only thing that changes is the media inside, which goes from a disposable cartridge you replace monthly to a permanent biological substrate you rinse occasionally in tank water. Your filter becomes a sponge filter in a different housing. The manufacturer loses the recurring revenue, your fish get better, more stable biological filtration. You stop spending $80 to $150 a year on cartridges that were harming your tank every time you changed them. The aquarium industry is not unusual in building repeat purchase revenue into its products. Almost every consumer goods category does this. What makes the filter cartridge model particularly damaging is that the replacement cycle it mandates does not just cost the hobbyist money. It actively destabilizes the biological system that keeps the fish alive. The instructions on the box are not written by biologists. They are written by a marketing department with a revenue target. The hobbyists who have been in this hobby for 10 or 20 years do not buy filter cartridges. They run sponge filters or they run modified hang-on back filters with permanent media, and their tanks are biologically stable year after year without the cycling events, the ammonia spikes, and the fish losses that beginners experience on a monthly replacement schedule. That knowledge exists. It has always existed. It just does not appear on the shelf at the pet store next to the 3-pack of replacement cartridges because it would eliminate the reason to buy them. Now you have it. If this video helped you, please give it a like and subscribe so you never miss another one.